everyone, it's Rachel. Thanks for watching this video. In this video, I'm going to show you how to download and install your font. This is going to be for PC, although I'm pretty certain the Mac works the same way, just maybe different buttons, I guess. But okay, so the one that we are going to go ahead and use, I already purchased. It's a special all collections font bundle. I got it during the dollar deals. So there is also a website called defont.com where you can get a ton of free fonts. But if you're going to sell, then you're going to need to purchase a license with that particular font. So anyways, I am not using, got it. I'm not going to be selling any of this, but I do like to purchase just in case I eventually do, and I want to make sure that I cover my bases. So I'm going to click on download files and then click on all font collection. So it's going to go ahead and download that. So I'm going to go ahead and click up here. Now, before you install your fonts, you want to make sure that Cricut Design Space is closed, because if it's open, then you're going to need to reload it, which is not the end of the world. I'll show you how to reload it here in a moment. But if it is not, if you do have to reload it, then you're going to have to make sure you save your work, just because it will not save anything that you did. So just make sure that you save it. It's best to save anything, get out, and then install. Okay, so keep in mind, I'm in my downloads folder, okay? And in my downloads folder, it's a zip file. So you got to bear that in mind, because when it's in a zip file, you can't install more than one at a time. You have to bring all of the OT files or the TTF files. Now, I think I think Mac computers have the WOFT files or WOF file, but for all PCs you can either use TrueType or you can use Open Type file. I believe OTF files are the better file. You see more of the special characters. So the one that we are going to look for is already it's only an OTF file, and the one that we're going to be using is called Hello. I think that's what it's called. So I'm just going to go ahead and look for it. Now, if I wanted to install all of these, what I can do is, in fact, I'll go ahead and show you. I'm going to go ahead and highlight all of these, and then right click. I'm going to hit copy. So in my desktop, I'm going to go ahead and create a new folder. And then I'm just going to leave it named new folder, because I'll eventually end up deleting it. I'm going to hit Control V as in Victor, so Control V. And then I'm going to highlight all of them, right click. Let's try that again. Right click and then hit install. And then what it's going to do now is going to install all of them. So this is going to prevent you from installing one at a time. Of course, I'll show you how to install one at a time, but you have to do this. You have to extract all of those files outside of the zip file in order to do this. You can't do that in a zip file. So that's why I brought it into my desktop. Okay, so the one that I want to use is Summer Hello. So that has already been installed. So once they're installed, you can come over to your folder and hit delete, and then you no longer need that. All right, so let's go ahead and get into Cricut Design Space, and that's it. That's all you have to do is install it, and you're good to go. So I'm going to go ahead and open up the file that we'll be working on, and we'll go ahead and do a quick craft with that. Okay, so here is the design that we will be working with. Now, I will tell you, for example, let's say you work on two different computers, and let's say that the font is installed on one computer, but it's not installed on the other computer. It will actually show up when you open up the file in red up here at the top that the file is missing, and if you make any changes, it will revert to Arial, so just bear that in mind. Okay, so let's just say you have Design Space all opened, and you're like, I don't like any of the fonts, so I'm going to go ahead and look for a font, and then you find one, you download it, and you install it. And then you'll notice it's not in the list of your text. So if you click on text, and you will notice that it is not listed here. And that is because Cricut's running off of what was already installed prior to starting Design Space. So as I mentioned before, what you're going to need to do is you are going to have to save it and exit out of it and then reopen Design Space, or you can, and I always am hesitant because this used to be a bug, when you did a reload it would lose all of it despite you saving it. So the trigger in me just does not want to mess with the reload, but I have been trusting Design Space a little bit more and more, but I definitely save it quite often. And especially given my background, you know, I work with AutoCAD, Revit, these major softwares, and they have been known to really, you know, especially depending on how well your computer is, crash. And I have lost work before, and needless to say, my boss was not happy. So I am very careful about saving often. And of course, as an instructor, I have to tell my students, save, 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 save. So, all right. But anyways, if you want to not exit out of Design Space, you don't have to go through that hassle, you're going to go ahead and come up here and click on those three dots and then click on view and then a reload or force reload. So we'll reload the software, basically restart it essentially. And it will get you back into the file that you're working on. Now, force reload, I would always choose reload. Force reload will just force anything, like despite if it's like, you know, trying to get caught up on, let's just say it keeps on going and going, like it's trying to, like, for example, if you undo, I don't know if you guys ever had this happen to you before, like for example, when you are working on a, you know, whatever, and you undo it and it takes forever to undo. Well, you actually, if you would just hit reload, it won't force it to reload. It will wait till whatever command you're doing to finish, but force reload will bypass all of it and just reload it. So that's something that is kind of like the emergency brake, right? That's your, in case of emergency. So just always try to use reload when possible. Okay, so I already did all the design work. I already printed it and cut it out, so we're not going to go through that process here. And I also just went ahead and I'm using two different fonts here. So what I am using that Caden, and that's another downloaded font that I bought. I'll try to link it if I can find it. And then of course I don't know why it's saying Arial, because I already installed the font, so I'm not sure why it's doing that. But anyways, that is that Summer Hello. So just those are the two that we will be using for this particular project. And then I added some curve to it as well. Let's see, go ahead and click on that. So I added the curve and it is 72. See, it looks like it just, let me go ahead and exit. Well, actually, you know what? Let me undo that. So now, see, it just took it away. Gosh, that's so obnoxious. I don't even know where it's at. Okay, so let me do this. I don't want to save it, so I'm going to file, view, reload. I'm going to go ahead and replace. I don't want to have to worry about it saving. Okay, so let me click on that. Let me see if it actually, yeah, I don't know why it's saying Arial. That's interesting, because I know that I installed it. So I'm gonna have to look into that further, but it should work for you. It could just be a Design Space glitch. You know how those glitches are. Okay, let's just go ahead and get into my craft table, and we'll go ahead and do this quick craft, and then we'll call it a day. Let's go ahead and get this weeded out. I'm really quizzical about why that happened in Design Space, because I know that's the font that I chose to use, so that's going to be interesting. I'm going to have to look into that and see why it installed that way. Okay, so I just have this little blank. It was your price, and it has something on there that I didn't really like, but I liked the price, $2.29 for this. And this is actually going to be a little bit of a first exposure to my tier tray to come. I got to start working on designing that and decorating it. I'm kind of holding off a little bit on that, only because it's more of a summer theme. It's going to be a peach theme, and I'm really excited to work on it, but I think that I'm just going to go ahead and work on it soon, but it probably won't get, right now it's currently the beginning of April, and I probably won't post it until May anyways. just because all the videos I have that's already set up for this month and part of May as well. But I'm kind of ahead of the game. Hopefully I can stay that way because life is just so crazy and busy. I have family that's coming into town in May, and for my daughter's birthday's coming up, so I gotta get crafting for that. I think we're gonna do a 3 theme. She loves salsa and chips, and so I thought it'd be kind of cool to do that type of theme. I haven't quite committed to it just yet. Not that we really need a theme, right? But I don't know. We'll see. Okay, the last one. Nope, you are going to stay. Okay. This did really well considering how thin that is. Okay. Whew. Okay, it's puzzle piece time. I don't want to have to cut out new transfer tape for just this project. So I'm going to piece it together. Okay. Perfect. Now this peach was from Canva, but there are peaches in Design Space that's really cute. In fact, I almost did vinyl with this project, just regular vinyl for the peach, because I had a really pretty coral color that I thought about using. But I really thought I wanted to use that. I might end up switching it depending on how I'm going to take this tier tray, like what direction I want to go. Do I want to do more print than cut with it? Do I want to do more vinyl? So this comes off pretty easily, so I can just replace it and go a different direction if I wanted to. Okay, so this is going to be a little bit of a stinker. Who would have thought transferring it would be the challenging part? I don't want to use parchment paper for this because I am so afraid it's going to come off so easily that I don't even want to fuss with that. Okay, we have some major technical things we need to do. We gotta reverse engineer this. Okay, so looks like the R. This is gonna be a challenge here. So I'm gonna lift that R up a little bit and fix it. Okay. Okay. And then I want my W or my I next. And then my N. Mic drop. Whew, that was a close call, y'all. Okay. I'm sure it's not perfect, but we don't do perfection, do we? No, we don't. Perfection's for the store, and even then, the store is perfectly imperfect as well. Okay, so with this, I'm going to be careful not to put my liner. In fact, I don't want to accidentally pick up my vinyl, so I'm going to trim this down considerably. Perfect. Okay. And then I'm going to go ahead and just place this somewhere. And there we go. Something that looked easy was a little bit difficult just because of the font, but I think overall it was still achievable. All right, well that is how you install fonts into your computer and apply it to Design Space. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.